It- It's a great Monday, and I missed you all. I was actually yesterday. I got back home, and these military weekends they're pretty long, so I didn't get a lot of sleep. If I don't get my 7.5 hours, I tend to. I mean, I can function fine, so I can go a couple days is not getting a lot of sleep, getting 6 hours of sleep. It's just there gets to a point where if I do have a lot of time to like settle down and chill out, then I go to sleep. And that's exactly what happened on Sunday. So it was good. I slept. I got home at like 4:30 and just knocked out until 6 o'clock in the morning. So that was pretty fun. But anyways, so today I want to talk about what I think is the main. I want to talk about what the. So today I want to talk about what I think is the meaning of life. And yeah, I'm just going to get into it because I think we all understand the impact and importance of this question. It's, I think, life or death. For a lot of people, they commit suicide because they don't have any other meaning in their life. So I think this is one of the most pivotal questions a philosopher can tackle and answer. Now, I just want to get out what I think is the meaning of life. And for me, the meaning of life is to play. Yeah, it's to play. I truly believe that. And why it comes from that is for the sole reason that you start off with there is no concrete meaning to life. And well, where do I get that from? All right. All right. So where I get that from is one of the main reasons I get that from is just thinking about the beginning of our universe and ultimately the end of our universe. So let's think about the beginning of our universe, right? I Big Bang. That's the one theory that most scientists nowadays believe happened. But how did we get to the Big Bang? Well, we have to believe in a miracle. Simple as that. We don't have any scientific evidence to suggest that uh, mineral or all of the universe can be magically produced in one small pinprick. It definitely could happen. It definitely life could definitely come from the Big Bang. I think just from what scientists have said in the past and what our current knowledge, but no evidence nowadays explains how we got from nothingness to pinprick, and essentially that's a miracle in of itself. We have to believe a miracle for the Big Bang to be true. Now, of course, science can easily disprove this, but then you get into, okay, hey, what caused the Big Bang? Oh, this caused the Big Bang. Okay, what caused this? Well, this caused this. As well, what does this cause? Well, this caused this. It's an endless loop. It continues forever. So, for me, there is no of science that could get to the ultimate end of this question of where we came from because it's a chicken and egg. And there is no reasoning that could be had that could ultimately explain our existence. But what can is something that is so omnipresent, omniscient, that it goes beyond any human reason and maybe even reason itself, right? All right. But go back to the Big Bang. And so, well, if we are to believe the Big Bang is true, and then that this is a miracle from nothing, well, this nothingness, there is only one thing that could live, or not live, but exist within this nothingness. And it's what John Updike, I believes, is we would call God. Right? It's this omnipotent, omniscient, and all omnipresent being. So it could be something like the Tao, like what they talk about in Taoist philosophy. It could be God, our puny representation of what God is isn't what uh, so let me rephrase that. It can be the Tao, like in Taoist philosophy, the unexplainable, but that is always with us. It can be something like God, but not the God that is represented in Christian and Judaism and uh, Muslim culture, because God, in a sense, is omnipresent. It's omniscient. It is she, it, whatever it is everything and anything that you can imagine. Because that's the only kind of being that could exist within this nothingness. So if we are to believe if this is as true, that God, I mean the God of what we how we the God that we established here right now is to exist in this nothingness. We got to ask ourselves, okay, why did they or it or whatever create the Big Bang in the first place? Why did it happen? Or why did it why did they create whatever created the Big Bang or whatever we science unveils as created this uh, life on this earth and the universe in general, or any multiverse, you know what I'm saying, and the beginning of everything. Well, let's think about it for a second. If God is omnipotent, well, um, omnip, what? Omniscient. I think that all knowing. If these, if they are all knowing, then they know that they're going, whatever it is going to exist in darkness forever, and that it's going to be nothing but nothing. Nothing happens. Nothing's going on. And when we think of nothing, we think, oh, just sitting around and just fiddling our phone. No, no noise, no love, no emotion, no oh this, no that, no that. It's this, not me talking, not my eyes, not the light, not nothing. This pitch black, not even pitch black. It probably doesn't even understand. There's probably not even a concept of blackness or night or anything here. It is nothing. And that's why this God or this Tao is able to exist here, because it would be the only thing that could. Well, if this thing knows that it's going to be in this nothingness for the rest of eternity. Imagine how fucking boring that is. I, I need a better way of explaining it, right? Because as this is God or this Tao would be able to, oh, oh, if it had emotions or had like interests, it would wield them perfectly. So it probably would never get bored, but there would be inactivity. And in that inactivity, there would be nothing that happens. Nothing that the he, this God or this Tao could be a part of, to exist with, to connect with, to love if it can love. It would be a consistent and ever present form. And because it's a consistent and ever present form, it is absolutely boring. So it's not a stretch in imagination to say that this God or this Tao would go upon and create a universe where there is activity. Because even if they are all knowing and knows exactly what's going to happen, knows the end of the universe, knows what we're going to do, how we're going to proceed, or is eternally within and present with us and is perfectly in line and has everything perfect. At least there's something going on. So let's relate this to a movie, right? All right, let's say you've already watched a movie. Watching a movie you already seen is much more exciting and thrilling and engaging than sitting and freaking meditating. And meditating is the closest thing I think we have to what that darkness before the Big Bang would be. And truth be told, all 99% of us can't sit in a room by ourselves for more than an hour doing nothing. And imagine, even in meditation, we have noises going off. We have thoughts going through. We have some activity that is happening to us. So even in these states, we are better off than this God or this Tao would be before the Big Bang. So going back to our TV metaphor, some kind of activity, even though we know what's going to happen, even at the end, is better than nothing at all. So here comes the Big Bang. And there it all goes. And then you get to the meaning of life, and meaning of the universe. And if we are to accept this as our origin story, then all it is this entity being bored and wanting something to happen. So really there isn't a meaning to the universe. Only that you yourself are able to give meaning to your own life and play the game that God has created, that the Tao has created. He created, or he, I say the Tao in this form created life to be lived. if he wanted or they wanted you to die, to be nothing, then wouldn't it have made life in general? There'd be no point. Of course, you're going to be going back into the earth, and there's going to be activity in that. But how much how much cooler would the movie be if you, you were watching a human act in their life and make all these flaws where you're eating popcorn knowing what the hell is going to happen and be like, oh, dude, don't do that, you idiot. And they do it anyways. And at least there's that contrast of them actually activity instead of some ashes and rock on the ground. So, in that sense, our meaning is as Matthew McConaughey puts it, a verb. It's to play the game that is life because there's a beginning and there's an end to us, to the beginning and the end of the universe, to everything. So, in that sense, your meaning is to go walk through your life the best you can because it is to play the game and hopefully you can play the game of life well. And if you can play the game of life well, not only you get to benefit, but everyone else in your circle gets to benefit. And not only they get to benefit, but or the God or the Tao who created this world all benefits as well. Maybe not that last part because they'd probably be pretty freaking entertained and to see us trip and fall and screw ourselves up in the first place. But that contrast between in good and evil is how you get activity and excitement. Right? If God or this Tao is the perfect representation of everything. So, in that sense, they are completely good. But since they are completely good, there is no room for our uh, difference, for contrasting, and for them to have excitement in their lives, right? Because they already know what's going to happen. And they're all powerful, so they do everything completely right. There is no wrong if we are to assume this is omnipotent and omniscient and all powerful being. So you have this steady state of nothing happening, or not nothing happening, but no excitement because there is not that contrast between what they know as perfect and and what they do, because they're always gonna pick a they would always pick and know the proper and best way to act in the world. And because of that, there is no surprise. There is no, oh, what's going to happen? You could see that with, or what Christians believe as their God. Their God wields emotions perfectly and is perfect in every way. But That's absolutely boring. I'm sorry to say, because it's the struggle as human beings to go towards that perfect virtue and to or that perfect perfection path to perfect virtue that gives life excitement and I would argue meaning because life is a series of surprises, as Ralph Waldo Emerson says. And you can't have surprises if there is no contrast to the life you're living already. And since and God or our Tao, is that perfect being and makes the right choice every single time, there is no moral dilemma. There's no contrasting. There's no, oh crap, I screwed up. There's nothing they can be surprised about. So essentially, it's kind of lonely being God. It's probably not that fun either. Because what's so great about living is that you don't know what's going to happen next. Tomorrow I find the love of your life. Tomorrow you might die. Tomorrow you might have the greatest experiences you've ever had. I get in a traffic jam. You might, I, I find $1 million on the ground. Oh, oh, that's probably a little extreme, but $20 on the ground. I do this, you might do that. And you might get in and your boss yells at you. Oh, I get in and your boss is in tears. Your boss might do this, yes, that. You might do this, you might do that, you might do this. And this continuous surprising in life gives us life. It gives us play. And ultimately, I think that's what all, at least in this is a discussion of God and the Tao, is looking for, or is entertained by. Maybe that's not the best word, but entertained by is that even though it knows everything and is not surprised by everything and knows exactly what you're doing, it can look on in entertainment or joy, perhaps joy. I, hey, depending on what kind of God you think it is, but joy that us humans have the ability to fuck up, but also rise above our inadequacies and be closer to the God or the Tao of that perfect, the perfect virtue, even though we'll never get there. So let's wrap this up. What I think the meaning of life is to play the game of life, to explore, to love, to hate, to understand, to get to a point where we are on that path to the perfect virtue. And that perfect virtue would be a Tao, that universe itself of omniscient God or this omniscient God that we have upon or have created for ourselves here. Find that perfect path to that perfect virtue, whatever it might be in your life. And since it is to play, one more thing, since it is to play, there really is no right answers. Not in the sense that not in the sense that there is one meaning toward your life. It is for you to learn, to play the game of life, to understand it, to keep going and understand and comprehend the rules. The rules may be for science, but also for human beings. And to enact in every situation you go through uh, your wisdom. The greatest is people I meet in my lives aren't the ones who follow a religion, but carry their spirituality and religion within themselves and are continuously trying to better their understanding of this world, either through their religion or through their ideology, or like me, through philosophy. Philosophy is ideology too, but that in all three of those instances is playing that game of life. That's the first time I talked about this out loud, so I don't know if my whole spiel kind of was the best explanation for the meaning of life because it's a big it's probably the biggest question that us humans can and answer and can have. So I hope to keep trying to understand it better and better. The more I read and the more I understand life and the more I try to go deeper into it and then make videos afterwards to review my thoughts and all this. But for right now, we're going to leave it at that and understand if you're going through hard times as well. Remember, even though you might think there's not a meaning, the meaning is you being able to create your own meaning through the play you have within your life, the infinite sandbox of life, and your ability to create your own meaning. Don't know if that makes much sense, but like I said, I'll be working on it later. So that's all for me. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.